Says we're live. Let's just see. Okay, yeah, we are live on YouTube. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sheila Karuna. Welcome to Sassy Seer Sheila. I don't know if this is, wait a minute, and if it's going to be live, if it's going to be a replay, I have to hit record. There we go. Now, if you're seeing this on New Light Streaming Love later, that will be a replay, not live. So today is Friday, August the 29th, 2025. And wow, I've had such a really cool morning already. I had the pleasure of connecting with a newer viewer that came to the channel via Jason Gray's writings. His name is Marty Jack, and we did a recording, and you will see that appear on both channels a little later on today. And what a great conversation. And honestly, those are the kinds of conversations that I absolutely crave. And I would love to invite all of you to participate in just that kind of a conversation. You know, I don't know, for me, keeping an open mind, hearing other thoughts, ideas, there were a couple of things that Marty shared with me that I watched myself throughout that entire conversation, that I saw myself wanting to say, oh, no, 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 that's not right. But I also saw myself sit back and say, now you don't know that what you think about this is right. So allow him to share. Boy, two of these came flying out. What he has to share. And so that's brand new for me, to be able to watch myself sit back in that kind of a manner. And I'm really very, oh, wow. Okay. So for those of you, there are at least a couple of you here now, you saw that these came flying out. I had shuffled quite a bit. This one we had just the other day. Solar empowerment. Absorb the empowering energy of the sun, charging your spirit with vitality and strength. And that was one of the things that Marty Jack had to offer, right? Was the feeling, the thought, the idea, concept of walking early in the morning, rising with the sun, allowing the sun. I feel like this is, since I had it before, and you know, Jason has said a lot about this to me as well, about making sure to, you know, sit in the sunlight, get good and grounded, right? I know that and I have been making an effort, right, to get out and remove my glasses and just behind my closed eyes, looking at the sun and just allowing whatever messages might drift in. So kind of interesting. We had that just the other day, and it's showing itself again. And then also, and this is from the Elemental Energies deck, elemental balance. Seek equilibrium by harmonizing the energies of earth, air, fire, and water within your being. Ooh, that feels right. So I hope you guys are all doing well. I'm looking forward to another conversation that I'll be having shortly today Again, I don't know if this one will be recorded and shared or not. I'm going to be having the opportunity to catch up with a friend I haven't had a chance to chat with in a while. So I'm looking forward to that. We actually, I believe we always have tried to record, but sometimes, the decision is made at the end of our chat not to publicize it. Sometimes it is. So we'll see, right? Look forward to that. And so again, now, one of the things that I invited Marty Jack to participate in a future conversation with gentlemen, fellows, guys, the males. I have had this desire because ever since I started this journey for myself, I really have noticed and I've been aware, actually, probably a lot longer than even that I've been more in my masculine than I have in my feminine. And I've noticed that whether this is a product of the times and the way things have gone, but my only child was male. And I was a single mom. His dad left when he was a year old. And so I was a single mom from that time until he was almost 8 years old. And even when I chose my next partner, I wouldn't really, there wasn't a lot of parenting that I would allow, to be honest, by that partner. Some hang up I had in my head about step parents, thanks to my great grandmother. At any rate, something oh my gosh, this same card came out from yesterday. Oh, wow. And you saw me. Okay, so I'm going to be reading that again, but oh, wow, that's really interesting to me that 2 days in a row, this one came out from the Shaman's Dream Oracle. This other one with the solar empowerment, I don't think it was just yesterday. Maybe it was just yesterday. Oh, wow. This is very interesting to me. At any rate, the whole point of reason why I went there with this is that I've noticed that, there's a lot of talk in the out there in differing ways in regards to toxic masculinity. And what I see is there's actually more toxic masculinity being emanated, if you will, from females rather than males. And quite frankly, from a lot that I keep being shown, it's mostly the females that are yelling about toxic masculinity that are actually emitting it, or it just, they are the ones who are actually doing the emanating of what I would call toxic masculinity. Now, doesn't mean everybody in any way, shape, or form. But it's something that I recognized within myself. And as I shared, you'll hear, I shared it with Marty. One of the biggest reasons that I wanted to have the conversation with males is because I think those toxic masculinity emanating females, me included, have done nothing but confuse the effing hell out of men. From time they're teeny tiny. Because what do you want? Right? I mean, I don't know. And guess what card came out? That's why I stopped myself dead. She of the Cruac. This is the ultimate of the divine feminine card of the fairy oracle deck. So, wowzers. I love when that kind of thing happens. Now, again, for me, I see where it all came from, as far as how I got there, right? In that emanating masculinity and most often toxic or just aggressively. I mean, I was always called intimidating, things like that, right? When you come across those traits in a female who is very female. I mean, I'm heterosexual. I'm, you know, lean towards being more femme. I love being a woman. None of that kind of thing, right? Um, but it gets confusing when that female is emanating toxic masculinity. Wow, we had this card the other day too. Surrender stress. But it came out with another partner. Surrender to miracles. Be open to miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know that these events are real. Let go of any resistance and banish any doubt that miracles can happen. And quite frankly, that coming out with the whale song card feels very interesting to me on many levels because both of these are all about uh, resonance, right? Whale song and dolphins, they both have that echolocation. I mean, this one even has the word resonating as a key word. So let's get one more. This from the Alchemy Elementals deck. Nissa Ray. I don't recognize your name, but welcome, welcome. I think you must be new to the channel. Glad to have you here. I always feel like if you're drawn to this channel, this reading, there's bound to be something for you here. Ooh. Water, lake, moon. Well, we got an awful lot of water going on in this card, in this reading. And even from the Journey of Love deck, we had the distant shores came out. So lots of water today in our reading. And water is all about the emotions, right? And we also have the ultimate in the feminine card. But we also did get elemental balance. So, and here I am talking a lot about how I've noticed, at least within myself, it doesn't necessarily, no one take offense now because this is always about noticing me, my own masculinity, and I also recognize part of what it was all my life, having to overcompensate, uh, trying to be both mother and father to my son, right? My mother was a single mom, And so, on top of being emotionally unavailable, uh, there just wasn't any real role models, really, in any sort of way. My great grandmother tried to be all things to all of us as well, right? And she was very uh, masculine and forceful in her, the way that she. Now, apparently, I saw myself moving those out of the way because I think she of the Kruak wants to be first. She is card number 5 in the Fairies Oracle deck. Fives are all about change for me. And the key words, key phrases for this card are the receptive principle, nurturing, fertility. This is the great goddess, the many named mother of all, and all goddesses are attributes or aspects of her. Her cup, the Kruak, overflows with bounty for all. She is the yin energy of the universe, nurturing, compassionate, and wise. She gives form and brings into manifestation the will and the life force of he of the fiery sword. His is the intention, the action, and hers is the manifest reality. In a sense, she is the Kruak holding all the worlds within her being. One Oracle group member saw the Kruak as a great bowl, like a scrying tool for seeing past, present, or future potential, but filled with energy instead of water. Within it, he saw a tower, the moon above it, and a farmhouse, and many other bits and pieces of our world. He felt that if you dropped something in the water, these things would scatter out to become reality, archetypes manifesting everywhere. He said she is the woman who dreams, and her dreams are the worlds and all that is in them. Looking at this card, another Oracle group member notes, what I see here is the energy of being held lovingly in the palm of the hand of the great goddess, followed by a relaxed sigh and release. She of the Kruak is the holder of all of our sorrows and all of our joys. Her Kruak, the miraculous chalice, is the womb of birth and the cauldron of rebirth, the chalice of healing, the container holding the germinating seed. She is the body, the soul shrine that holds the spirit and keeps it from being lost or dissipated in a formless fog. She is pattern and form in the abstract and in the specific. Within her, we take form, grow, achieve fulfillment, and let go of that form to move on to the next phase of our being. All of the universe, each individual particle, every being is cherished by her. She of the Kruak may indicate a form of pregnancy, a necessary time of nurturing and development. We need to be open to her overflowing grace. She may also indicate a need to allow her nurturing grace to flow through us to others in the form of unconditional love and giving and spiritual being healing. She tells us of the need for unconditional receiving and making the best of what we are offered. She also reminds us that unbounded love and grace is ours, just waiting to be accepted. The presence of this card in the reading radiates comfort and nurturing to the cards around it. And I wonder if that's why it wanted to go first, so that it could really assert all of that balance, the solar empowerment, surrendering stress. And remember, there was something in here about her miraculous healing that is capable of happening, right? Wow. Okay. So I really can't get over what all this has for us today, especially the fact that we just had this card yesterday. Card number 61, which is a 7 numerologically, which for me has always had something to do with divinity. For me personally, as you know, and I always see it as, yeah, they say different things out there about different things, but it's all a matter of your own personal perspective and your experiences, which would mean to be your perceptions of those perspectives. So this one is whale song resonating. And again, lots of water, right? Remembering, harmonizing, resonating. There are moments in life when you have a sense of deja vu. Well, yeah, like this, that I know we had this yesterday. That you've visited this place, these things, this person before, and you know that a new opportunity to dance has come round again. Yet there is a haunting quality to this, melancholy, as life's mysterious fragility is also underlined, like a whale song that pleads for its simple notes to be matched by another. You have a short time to capture this essence and let it resonate in a way that is potentially transformative, only if you don't turn away. So many of us do turn away from different things because of one or another reason. Maybe it's a little uncomfortable, or maybe, our psyche just can't handle it in that moment or whatever. Sometimes you may forget the moments of your humanity, your truest desires, because you've become so earthbound and calculating, striving and doing. You're so overstimulated by the chase and what you're exposed to that you forget your heart. Now it's time to jump in the water and play and be reminded of your creative self, your collaborative impulse to sing along, seeking harmony, beauty, purpose, and meaning. At this moment, that is your exact invitation. And I feel that with all of me, specifically, even, that conversation this morning with Marty, that was, that was just wonderful, beyond speaking. And it is the reason that I am always inviting you guys to come have those conversations, because that's where the yumminess is for me, right? At this moment, that is your exact invitation. You will achieve more than the plans you set in motion if you use this opportunity to explore, be curious, and take a much needed break from what your mind thinks it needs to accomplish. Your heart is calling. Answer it. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. I seem to recall pointing out when this was out here that this was an inner child here. This feels like a child. to me. And that even really speaks to the conversation that Crystal and I had. I want to say it was day before yesterday, although it was just put up yesterday, about allowing that inner child uh, to be front and center, to take precedence. This card, number 33, is the number on the card, which is interesting because that's has something to do with my own personal numerology, what it actually means. I don't even remember, but it's supposed to be some sort of master number. But this is Water, Lake, Moon. Yesterday we had Water, Lake, Earth. And today we have Water, Lake, Moon, and it is an 11. So, because it's on page 47, numerologically, that's an 11. Again, another master number. That's very interesting. Again, don't ask me what they mean. I don't really know. I just surrender to whatever, whatever it's supposed to mean. I just think it's really cool. Okay, so we earthlings perceive the moon by way of the sunlight reflecting off its surface, just as shamans gather visions and insights from the moonlight reflected upon lakes and rivers. It is time to pause and reflect, dear one. Step into stillness and rest there, contemplating all that has been and all that you aspire to be. The deeper you are willing to delve into yourself, which is another part of that conversation Crystal and I had, the more insights you will discover. Don't get sucked into the distractions of the outside world. Make no mistake, when I invite you to come and have conversations with me, if you feel drawn to do so, see, I see you as another me, another portion, another iteration, another individuated portion of the one, having your own thoughts and experiences. And if you feel drawn to have conscious conversation with me, it's because you have something you can share with me. And I will gain by that sharing. That's the way I feel about it. So I love that this is, if you are willing to delve into yourself, the more insights you will discover. Don't get sucked into the distractions of the outside world. Now is the time to go inside. Allow your attention to take the shape of the moon as your innermost being becomes the waters upon which it is reflected. Can you sit patiently in the silence and allow the insights to make themselves known and to guide you on your journey? And I was just flashed what I just started sharing earlier when we first came on here. It was, I watched myself from inside here, enjoying the conversation with Marty Jack in a way that I've not witnessed myself enjoying that conversation, any conversation before. Knowing, full on knowing within me, not in an intellectual exercise sort of way, which I freely admit a lot of what I have been investigating for myself has really been more intellectual exercise. But I also don't see anything wrong with that, because that's how, as I'm rooting out programming and conditioning, that I have exposed myself to in my life. That's the way I see these conversations now, as sitting patiently in my own silence and allow the insights from that other portion of me to be reflected and to make themselves known to me. I don't know if that makes any sense, but for the first time ever, I can feel exactly what I mean by that. And I experienced that this morning in that conversation with Marty Jack. And I love that this showed up to drive that home in such a way that I cannot unsee that, because they're all different connotations of the word silence, just like in every language there, which is why I have said many times that I speak Sheila English, Marty Jack speaks Marty Jack English, Nissa Ray, if you speak English, you speak Nissa Ray English. And quite frankly, they are all infinitely different. Just as soon, I mean, I had that as a inkling of being a true statement. And then I saw Jordan Peterson, who's a famous psychologist, talking about the difference between connotation versus denotation of words, and how that is absolutely a true thing. And it is exactly the same way. I mean, I saw it so clearly for the first time that yes, that is exactly right. The way each one of us have learned the English language was colored by all the experiences we've had of those words, how we learned them, what all was taking place as we learned them. And they're never ever the same, not exactly identical. I mean, I've been proving that to myself. I've shared many times by saying, okay, now this is what I think I hear you saying. Is this what you mean to say? Because I look for my words to be certain that I'm understanding, understanding. There's a difference between understanding and understanding to me. Okay, so the last card we got was distant shores. And again, that theme of water, which is all about emotions, your soul is yearning for more. The divine is all, and there are no limits to what can be experienced by the soul. The soul is so hungry for divine reunion that it will seek out whatever is needed to get there, even if that means journeying to strange or exotic shores for expanded experience. And in that conversation, Marty Jack made it very clear that, and I know he's right, for me anyway, our own bodies are strange territory to most of us. I know it has been for me. You may be feeling this soul impulse as an urge to travel, to try something new, to let go of the limitations of your mind in how you see your current life, and to begin to see the new in what was once familiar, the art of the passionate soul is to be able to see that which is new and fresh, even in what is known. Though sometimes we can use the help of a fresh vista to inspire the mind to open and the heart to be ready to receive more. It's time for you to reach the distant shores that are calling to you now, beloved. Don't pack your bags with too much, though. You'll travel light and easy with less baggage, and you'll need plenty of space to receive that which is new. This oracle brings you a message. You benefit greatly from travel right now. You may travel through the mind, reading journals of faraway lands or times, or watch a film that transports you. Moving your body to a different place is another way, bringing fresh energy by unplugging you for a short time from what you know to plug you into a different circuit so that you may receive different energy. So when the opportunity to travel arises for you soon, whether it be a jaunt far away or a day in a different place, take it. Don't worry if it doesn't seem practical. The divine is so much more important, intelligent, and capable of genius than what mere logic would have us believe. I waited for dawn, not wanting to go, but knowing I soon would have to leave. I waited for the first light, listening, joining with you on each breath and each exhale. I watched as morning came and you gently stirred, knowing our love was not measured in time, not the minutes that quickly passed or the hours as departure approached. How I wanted to linger, how I wanted to tell you that this moment would last forever and whisper one more time, I love you. And then you held me and said it first, and goodbye no longer mattered. Let's see, is that it? Yeah, that's it. Wow. I really feel like this really was a wonderful reading for me. I hope that you found something of use for you here today. If you, again, I always feel like I only do this when I feel moved to do so for myself. And I have always felt that if you felt moved to show up, to listen, then there was something in it for you. I feel like there's, for me, a lot of personal, emotional uh, diving inward that uh, I'm being pointed again inward all day today. Actually, this is very interesting to me. Starting yesterday, actually, with this whale song. So I hope this was helpful for you. I hope you enjoyed it. Um, if you feel so drawn, would love to have you subscribe. Um, I hope that you will move towards that which draws your attention. There's absolutely always something there for you. I'm convinced of that for myself anyway. And until we meet again, be well, my friends. Mwah.